2, 1. Hello, everybody. My name is Chris, and welcome to the Chaos Brigade, the show where 4 idiots are playing D&D in a non-serious manner where nothing matters and nothing ends up, happening, except burning cities down and recreating Les Mis. I'm your Dungeon Master. My name is Chris Fire. You can find me on TikTok. And above us, we have Funkmaster Nacho. Ryan, would you like to get started with this?
As the lovely Chris said, I am Ryan, Funkmaster Nacho on TikTok. Today I am playing Riker, the Leonin Barbarian. A fun fact about Riker is he's actually the youngest of 5 siblings and also the loudest of the 5.
So you.
Yes. Except I'm 4 siblings.
Hi, I'm Jay, Sir Jay of Harps. Fun fact about me first, my camera won't focus, ever. So if you see me sticking my hand on the lens, that's why. Fun fact about Floof, who I'm playing, the Kenku, obviously. Still haven't killed him off yet. The blue cloak he wears that he thinks looks super dope is definitely one he just bought from a magic shop. Like a lame fake magic shop. My camera still won't. Okay, that's all. Move on.
Hi everyone, I'm Luana, or the Witch Bard. I'll be playing Nyx, the Satyr Bard, and a fun fact about her, she has a possum pet, but she thinks it's just a very, fucked up squirrel.
So Riot is just a squirrel.
She thinks it is. It's an actual possum. She just thinks, oh no, it's really hurt. That's all. I'm gonna take care of it until it gets better.
All right, so on that note, from what we were at last week, we were in the city of Athens. You guys had just successfully recreated Les Mis, caused a full-scale revolution, overthrew the corrupt police force, took the how would we call him? The man in charge, the police commissioner, threw him into Fight Club, and after Fight Club with Floof, and unsuccessfully trying to bribe him, you left him to the crowd.
Made it worse.
At that point, we made our way back to the tavern, and Riker got to make a wonderful new friend. Now, on that note,
escapes me.
His name escapes him. Anderson was his name.
Anderson,
the Scotsman.
It literally just
with a horrible,
in my notes says Anderson - Scimitar Man.
Literally, Scimitar Man. That's all he has.
We'd love to see it.
All right. So from that note, in our last session, we had decided that you were going to travel north based off of nothing at all other than it was cold, and cold sounds interesting right now. Now, before we end up,
heard it was nice up there.
Exactly. Before we end up leaving the city, is there anything that anybody wants to go do? Is there any shopping you want to take care of? Is there any let's just call them explosion-y things you want to take care of before moving forward?
I just want a rapier. That's it. I can just take that for fun, or we can go shopping. I don't care.
That is honestly up to you all.
Chris, will it frick up the overlay if I turn my camera off to try to reset it?
Yes, it would.
Okay, I guess I'll be worried the whole time.
Sorry, Jay. No, it would actually throw us all out of.
Anybody want to see what that looks like? Okay. Hi, we're gonna get horrible angles of Jay real quick while I try to figure out what this thing's doing.
Hey, it's
Jay
fine. It's fine. That's a weak
not smudge.
I'm
It's
just now noticing
focusing.
all of your posters in the background.
Oh yeah, hi. I used to work at a movie theater.
Ah, well that explains everything. So on that note, Luana and Ryan, do you two have anything that you want to find, or does Nyx or Riker have anything in particular they want to purchase or look for?
No.
Probably not. Probably not. Riker wouldn't really be looking for anything at this moment.
All right. On that note, I guess.
Pepperoni.
Yeah. On that note, Jay, just subtract 25 GP from your gold count, and Floof has a rapier. You guys just stopped by the shop on the way out of town, and you guys start heading north.
Chris, check chat if you have it pulled up.
Aww, that's adorable. And slightly disheartening. Opal is my daughter, and she thinks Jay is great. No! Daddy right here. Daddy's right here. It's got to be the
It's the same thing with the
It's
Google Photo thing.
Yeah, there we go. We're going to
because my camera's blurry.
We're gonna flip that
There
out
we go.
right there, and that should give some
It's
sentience.
because for once I'm the one having problems with my camera. That's why she thinks it's.
That's got to be it. All right. So
You're
on this
right.
note, who is going to be leading the expedition up north? You guys do know the roads going up there. It's pretty straight shot. There's paved roads going up there. Well, not really paved. Well-worn roads from trade and from travel, but they are still bandit attacks. There have been reports of people going missing up north through the road systems. So who wants to
I can
take
lead.
point?
I'll lead.
All right, so we have Nyx the Satyr going forth.
I guess I'll bring up the back so we can make sure that Floof doesn't wander off.
That's fair.
Yep.
That's a valid thing to do.
All right, Lou, go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Oh, I thought we were gonna go with perception. That's why I offered. Okay.
Oh. No, we're going to be going on a survival check, and depending on that, then we'll go perception.
Oh no. 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
All right, on that
You're
note,
gonna go to jail.
go ahead and roll perception for me.
Please. Oh, thank God. That's gonna be. I am the bad at math.
Math is math.
25.
A 25. All right. So
Oh,
with a
hells yeah.
25 perception, you do notice probably about an hour after you guys leave town. You stick to the roads. You're doing just fine. About an hour after you leave town, you notice that there's one of the in this world with cars. There are still cars are more of a rich luxury. Whereas most people outside of cities, or most people that aren't, uppity up in cities, typically still have horse-drawn carriages and have limited technology. As you are traveling about an hour outside of town, you come across a horse-drawn carriage that has had the horses are just gone. The carriage is on its side and in a ditch. You, because of your 25 in perception, you're plus 20, basically, 20 plus in perception. You notice that about 60 to 120 foot back. So you have a good ways till you get it, but you do notice it out on the distance.
So, don't want to spook anyone, but, there's one of those vroom things, flipped over, and there's no horses. What do we want to, I just say, maybe, Riker, do you want to go to the front? I don't feel comfortable anymore.
Riker will step forward and is like, "Why, of course. I have no fear of this situation," and he'll just strut straight towards the.
Maybe we should take a better look before we. Okay, we're going.
he just walks straight for the carriage.
Floof just looks at Nyx, sticks his hand out, and you start to see magic crackle as it's aimed at Riker, and he's like,
No.
Hulk?
He's gonna help us. No, he's fine. I'm sure he can take care of himself. Come on, let's go. And she just grabs Floof's hand and keeps going.
All right, Riker, what is your passive perception?
Passive.
Yes.
That would be a 15.
A
my
15.
Good man.
All right. As you start coming up upon the carriage, you start noticing that there isn't so much. There's no blood drawn or anything, but there are arrows embedded into the sides of this carriage. You can see 2 of the wheels, like the frontmost wheels, have had the spokes snapped off, and the wheels just kind of not on anymore. And you can tell that this was a planned attack, but you don't notice any blood or anything. But you also see that the carriage is still closed. And I will say you don't see any horse bodies or anything like that, so the horses weren't left wherever they are.
Riker will reach towards the handle and yank it open.
All right. I would say make a strength check, but I already know how you're going to do with that. With your sheet right here, I can tell it doesn't matter. You're going to make it no matter what. On that note, the door just kind of falls off in your hand. The door is it was hanging on by a thread as it was. And inside the carriage, you see a gnome. He is knocked out against the wall of the carriage, and he's just kind of laying there. You can see there's a very large whelp on the top of his head, but otherwise he seems rather unharmed. Aside from the fact that he is stripped down to basically a potato sack of clothing, and there's like nothing left inside the carriage. Everything's just been stripped, basically.
Riker will just reach in and pull him out, and then just shout back to the party, "I found a gnome! He's unconscious with a rope," and he's like holding him up by like one hand.
Oh,
Yeah, he's just
okay,
dangling there, unresponsive. You hear a couple like, but past that, nothing.
Your mic didn't pick up whatever that was.
Sorry, just like a light.
I like start running faster. I'm like, please.
Floof just kind of goes, huh. And I'm gonna cast Healing Word at first level on the guy.
All right. Well, if you do that, then he pops back up. The wound on the top of his head, that large like whelp, just literally fades back into his head, and it just disappears.
Do you need me to roll for it, or is he fine? Like...
He'll be fine from that one. He was just unconscious, not like dead or anything. It was enough to heal that wound and bring him back up. And he's like, "Huh? How? What are we?" He looks over at Riker. He's like, "Oh my God! Who are you? I'll give you whatever." Oh,
Are you
shit.
okay?
Depends.
Do you want me to let you down?
Please.
It just drops him.
He drops and lands on his ass, and whenever he sits there, he's like, "Given that you didn't tie me up, or you don't have my clothing on your persons, he like looks around. I think something happened." And he like looks at you.
A lot of things happened. Can you be more exact on the events that just transpired?
To be completely fair, last thing I remember, I was getting hammered at a tavern. I left with.
I've been there. Trust me.
I left with some friends of mine. Next thing I know, I'm waking up being held in a potato sack. We were going to one of the local towns up north. What was the town's name? And at that point, he kind of just like stands up and starts pacing back and forth.
Would I know any towns up north? So I could just start naming them.
Give me a history check real quick.
All right.
And as he's pacing back and forth, he's just like muttering to himself the entire
21.
time. 21? Oh yeah, you know most of the towns that are around here. There's 3 to the north. One of them named Silver Point. Second one, Etopresnia. And the third one, Raven's Roost.
Is it Silver Point you're possibly thinking?
Silver Point. Possibly the
Pesnia?
Presnia. Etopresnia. Yes, that is the one. Wait, that's where. Oh, I remember why I was going there. Ugh.
Oh, where were you going there?
Family issues, family problems, family business. Really,
Ooh.
family business. Always a fun thing to begin with. Long story, but having to go there to help clear up. What was it now? Doesn't matter. I know I have to go there. That's where I'm going. And he kind of like looks over to his cart, and he's, well, that's not gonna work. Would you happen to know where we are? Honestly, where we are at all?
I look back at the smoke from the town. Well, a couple miles away from Athens.
Do you hear the people sing?
I am willing to bet I should not go back to Athens. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. What I'm going to do. Would you 3 be willing to escort me to Etopresnia and potentially act as bodyguards for payment?
Here comes the money. Money
I think
talk.
that's a yes.
Here comes the money. Money.
So we don't really have any business right now, so I'm willing. And I look at Riker and I'm like,
Fantastic. Assuming the strong man is well okay with this.
Riker looks over at Nix and Floof. He says, I'm beginning to like this small man. I am a strong one.
Excellent. Well, here's one thing I can say right now. I don't know how much money I can pay you, but if it does not meet your rate, you can stay with me and my family in Etopresnia for free. We will pay for food, board, all the above. As long as you
Your
stay.
house as small as you are. You know, the height difference and all that might
He
He,
sto-
he
he
stops
difficult.
and he stops and thinks. And he's like, no. My brother married an elf. No, you should be good. You should be fine.
You just see Riker like start to stroke his chin and look up. He's like, "How does that work?"
Love is love.
Yep, and he's not going to even like think about. He's not even going to be like, no, he married an elf. You guys should fit just fine. Yep, and he just like drops the thought and starts walking.
Okay, we're going.
All right, so on that note, oh, this is something I forgot about. And before I forget, what is all of your names? My name is Siegfried.
Siegfried. That's Floof. I'm
Ah.
Nix.
Nix.
And this
Floof.
is?
Name's Riker. Riker to Emerald Lake. You might have heard of my family.
Potentially, might have been in some of my notebooks. Maybe in the archives. Who knows?
You see him give a little silent yes.
What is it that you do, Siegfried?
I myself am a cartographer. I just chart things. I make maps, I make things, and I do that. My brother, on the other hand, is the innkeep, and he just kind of does whatever in his free time. He has a lot of hobbies. He jumps around a lot.
A cartographer that
that's-
didn't know where he was. That's fun.
And
It's-
if
it's
he
the- it's the
does,
hooch.
as you
It's the
say,
hooch.
hop around a lot, him and the feathered one would probably get along.
I don't understand the context, but I'm sure I'm going to find out.
Oh yeah, very soon probably.
Okay, is there anything I should know about him? Because that kind of concerns me now.
He could shoot. He could shoot lightning out of his talon things, bands, I believe.
It
In-
seems
in
I
his
was
proportions there.
rescued by the right people.
He doesn't like my squirrel, but and I just pull out like the possum.
Immediately, Floof's head snaps to the possum's naked tail and just cocks it. And he runs over and tries to start like eating its tail.
And I just push. No, we talked about this.
Worms.
I put Raya back in the bag.
On that note,
and,
whenever Raya goes back in the bag, its little nose just like pops out and like starts staring at Jay intently.
Floof does like the head cock and stares back.
And they just like have a staring
And-
match. Ah,
Huh.
This
noted.
one likes also to jump a lot from any sort of height. And I like.
What, are there any trees around?
There are trees, but they aren't exactly like they aren't really tall and skinny. They are wide and stocky. They are kind of trees that are trying to catch as much rain as possible.
And I'm like, because he doesn't know how to fly, but he tries his best.
Understood.
My passive 17. What are the odds of me hearing that?
Roll stealth.
Yeah, go.
Nix is
Actually,
kinda loud.
Lou, go ahead and roll stealth at disadvantage on that one.
Okay, that fell off. Hold up. Okay. Oh no, that's a 1.
That's a 1. Okay, yeah, no,
So
like
a total
Floof,
5.
Floof hears that, and Floof absolutely hears that.
Floof calmly walks up, stands right in front of her. How tall are you?
6 foot.
Oh yeah, no, looks up like Max, like he's up in your face. He just goes,
I lower. I lower even more.
I
Like I'm
tell-
like kneeling
Riker-
down.
Riker taps the nose. Is like, oh, this ought to be good.
The gnome kind of like
Floof
leans
stands
against
on
you
his-
and like starts watching.
Floof stands on his tiptoes and just goes, Mac, goat bitch.
Ah!
Ooh, I'm gonna punch Floof.
I'm about to make a save to see if Riker laughs or not. Okay.
I want to
He's-
punch. I'm just gonna.
That's what is that? Wisdom save?
Yeah, that'd be wisdom.
18. So he
18.
stifles it.
The gnome, Siegfried, Siegfried just looks like.
Wait, Lou, are you actually punching me?
Yeah, hold up.
Okay.
Oh wait.
And he just like gasps and he just kind of like takes a step back.
I already said I would, so I guess it's too late now. Do I have anything to attack roll? I already
Yeah,
know what's gonna happen.
you would need to
An armed
roll
attack.
attack.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a 19 to hit.
That hits!
Oh no! I regret
All of a sudden,
it already.
Luana, you have hit Jay more than the entire past 3 combats.
So you just take 4 bludgeoning damage as I just across
Hey,
your
Luana?
face. Yes.
Hey, Luana?
Yes.
Could you do me a huge favor? I need. Give me just a second.
Oh no. Oh god.
Can you make a dex saving throw?
Hey, is this a magical thing?
It would count as magical, so you'll have an advantage.
Mhm.
Can I cast Bane at first level so she has normal advantage? No, I'm
No,
kidding.
at this point, this would be a reaction.
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh my god, please, advantage, please help me. No, they're the exact same roll! You say deck?
Yeah, it's decked. So you're probably gonna pass
10.
it. Oh, you don't!
Oh no!
Where's my d8s? Give me just a second.
Oh, no.
I could technically use my if I cared that much, I could use my channel divinity to make it max damage, but I'm not gonna do that. You take 7 electric damage. Or thunder
Just
damage.
7?
We'll go thunder. Yeah.
Okay.
7. How much damage
is,
was the
Riker,
punch?
is this normal?
Sorry.
4.
Okay, cool.
He just kind of nods and keeps watching. He pulls a ration out of his bag and hands him like a bit of beef jerky.
He takes it. He takes it. And he gladly starts eating.
And that's it. Floof will you'll
I
just see
just-
Floof's feathers go down as like a shockwave shoots out of him and then back up.
This happened really fast, by the way, right? Because he said
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I just went and then
This happened literally in like the span of like 7 to 12 seconds. Everybody's just like, huh? Okay.
I just
just hear-
sit back for a moment. I just look at him like
You just hear a very loud munching off to the side, like Riker's eating.
I'm
like
just
a
death
big piece of-
staring.
Floof
Step
will walk
staring.
up and just go, pat, pat, because he knocked her back. And then he'll turn around and look at the gnome and go, where to?
At Presnia, north. That's all.
Floof
there's-
starts walking east.
That,
No,
that's
Flo-
the wrong. That's the wrong. You're going off into the field. The north is up the road. It's up the road.
Road is road.
Road is road.
Floof, come
Shall
back.
we? Does that? Does he have a leash? Do we need a leash for? Should you get a leash for him?
See, I told you about the leash, Riker. Okay. I go. I go towards Floof and I just pick him up and put him under my arm and just start walking back to the road.
Okay. So on that note, with you guys walking back to the road, what's the words? Yeah, as you guys start walking on the road going north, you guys travel for a good, you travel for about the rest of the day. As the sun starts setting at this point, it's probably about an hour and a half until dark. The sun's just about to be cresting over the horizon. What do you guys do? Do you guys want to continue traveling through the night, or would you like to set camp?
I look over, or Riker looks over at Nick's floof. What was the gnome's name again?
Siegfried.
Siegfried, and goes, well, I could keep walking if you guys. What do you guys want to do? I mean, I'm fine either way.
Floof is just asleep under Nix's arm.
I feel like I'm trying to be quiet because I don't want to wake up Floof. I feel like we should find a safer place because there's still bandits in the area. So if we could find maybe a hidden clearing or somewhere that would be safer to sleep with, I feel like it would be a good idea to take some rest.
As you guys are walking through the night, you guys travel for a good, you travel for about the rest of the day. As you guys start walking on the road going north, you guys travel for a good, you travel for about the rest of the day. As you guys start walking on the road going north, you guys travel for a good, you travel for about the rest of the day. As you guys start walking on the road going north, you guys travel for a good, you travel for about the rest of the day. As you guys start walking on the road going north, you guys travel for a good, you travel for about the rest of the day. As you guys start walking on the road going north, you guys travel for a good, you travel for about the rest of the day. As you guys start walking on the road going north, you guys travel for a good, you travel for about the rest of the day. As you guys start walking on the road going north, you guys travel for a good, you travel for about the rest of the day. As you guys start walking on the road going north, you guys travel for a good, you travel for about the rest of the day. As you guys start walking on the road going north, you guys travel for a good I personally, as long as I'm protected, it is whatever. If we're still walking, I could go for sleep, but I'm fine with walking more. As long as we're
So we
protected
can keep
and safe.
walking.
As long as we're safe,
Yes, we can.
I'm fine with this.
I can't see in the dark, but we can keep walking.
You can see in the dark.
Wait, can
No.
see in the dark? Hang on, let me check.
I'm pretty
I
sure
know
The dark vision.
I can't. As a gnome, I can't.
Really? I thought the gnomes had dark vision.
I don't think gnomes have dark vision. Wait, do we?
Not sure.
Think so?
Oh, yeah, they do.
Really?
Never mind. I
Hang
didn't
on.
know gnomes actually had dark vision. Never mind. That's my
Nope,
bad.
I can't see the dark either.
I
Oh,
can
wow.
see. I can
So
see just
I-
fine. So I'm fine with going forward. We could use torches if you needed that.
Hang on, give me just a second. I need. Oh wait, I'm asleep. Never mind.
I snap my fingers and prestidigitation a small flame.
Well, that works out pretty well.
At the sea, when Floof will just pop an eye open when the flame goes on, kind of wriggle out of her arms, and he'll just snap his fingers, and I'm gonna cast light on my dagger, and it's just gonna be a bigger version of your light.
Show off.
If birds could smile, he'd be grinning from ear to ear.
Like, there's a little bit of pride as Floof does that, and like Nyx. But
Okay. So on that note, if we're going to continue moving forward, what is our marching order for the dark now?
Well, I,
I
have
guess-
the light. So should I be in the middle or the front?
I feel like Riker should be in the front, seeing as he can also see further than a torch could.
I'll be in
Technically
the
with-
dark.
Then, well,
have-
further than light could, as dark vision.
I'll be
Dude.
in the I'll be in the glass. I have good passive.
Okay.
So I'll just keep an ear out.
Sounds perfect. Okay. So on this note, as you guys are walking forward through the dark, Riker, I need you to do me a perception check.
Okay, let me see.
Okay.
Perception. That's a big old 8.
An 8. Okay. So as you are walking forward, it's another probably about hour and a half. You notice, walking along the road, you notice that there are footprints leading on this trail. It's been overall pretty dry. You know that this road has been dry for a majority of the ride. There hasn't been any rain. There's been no snow. Yet there are very clearly defined footprints in the dirt in front of you. Because you have dark vision, the light is not reaching that yet. You can see that the ground is has been wetted, and these footprints have been pressed into it. And you see that they are in the shape of large paws. But you can't make out anything else from that yet because you're not on them. They're about 30 foot out. Or, yeah, 30 foot out.
Riker will hold up his hand real quick. There's footprints ahead.
Is that any is other people hurt? Do we find the little guy's friends?
Oh. I'll go take a look. You stay with the Siegfried.
I put my hand on his shoulder. I'm like, be careful, okay? And you have bardic inspiration.
Gotcha.
Oh.
All right, Riker will slowly approach, keeping a hand on his great axe on his sword.
Okay.
And as he slowly starts walking forward, his eyes like start to glow faintly blue
Mhm.
as he's approaching. And he goes over and looks at the tracks,
Okay.
tries to identify them.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check on the tracks.
It's even worse. The 7.
Oh, no. With a 7? Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
bardic inspiration.
okay, so...
that's a D8.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, it's a D6. I'm
D6.
still level 4.
Okay.
Oh no!
Oh, 11 now.
11.
Thank
Okay.
you.
With an
you,
11, you did get more information from that 8 to an 11. You did bump your information gain. You can tell that they are canine in nature. They are very large canine, but they are canine in nature. And you get a
Oh, no.
metallic smell in the air.
Oh.
around you, but you don't really see anything else. You see that these tracks started. You see these tracks started on the heading alongside the road, but then you see that they veer off to the left and into the woods to the left.
So, do they look like a humanoid dropped them or an actual beast?
Give me a survival check, actually.
Better at survival than. Well, actually, I'm the exact same. Survival than percent.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, that's way better.
What's your survival?
I rolled a 3, then I rolled a 2, but on this I rolled a 15 plus 5, so dirty 20.
Okay, with
Okay,
that
so
dirty
plus
20,
five, too.
with that dirty 20, you do notice that these started very canine-esque, and they start elongating as they go on.
Oh no.
Werewolf.
Or shifter.
Oh! Less
kinda-
used.
He
Underrated
kind of turned
plot,
around
great.
and was like, he kind of turns around and he looks at it. He's like, looks like some kind of canine went by here and then switched places with some kind of humanoid.
That doesn't. That. Oh.
And he starts,
just
he
seems
starts rubbing his
something.
chin. He starts rubbing his chin. Maybe he had the dog in his backpack and just caught up with it. He starts like thinking.
Floof
I'm-
just lets out a low growl.
Okay, let's get moving so we can see the footprints ourselves as well.
Ooh.
Okay, that's odd.
He's got average
Okay.
intelligence.
So
he
as
just
you-
has
as you
terrible
guys-
problems.
Can I look at the moon?
So did you guys go up to the footprints at that point, or?
Yes.
Okay, as the light heads up there, you can tell that it is not that the mud type stuff that it's in has been stained red by blood, which was the source of the metallic air, and it's just covering this road. Like, it is covering at this point, but you don't see any bodies, and you don't see where the blood or bodies would have came from.
Floof is gonna like bend over and like sniff the dirt. Then he's gonna take 2 fingers and go, just trying to look impressive, even though he has no clue what he's doing.
You get
And then he's
so
just
you
gonna
can
go-
taste so much. You can taste so much iron. It's not even funny.
Floof just goes, dog.
Along with the taste of iron, you taste so much dirt. Like, you have tasted millions of horses that have walked through here.
Oh no.
You know what, Floof?
Spit it out.
You know, Floof, while I'm thinking about it, make a con save. I'm kidding. No.
I would like to say I can't be diseased anymore.
You know what? Make a con save anyway. I'm kidding. No. On that note, you do notice that
If it was a con save, that was gonna be a 8. Not great. I'm gonna use a different dice now.
you've now been infected with tetanus. No.
I'm immune to disease, baby.
So on that note, you do see that these tracks head off into the woods, but you don't see exactly where they've gone off to now because, you know, trees and brush have covered them up as they go in. So at this point, Siegfried's going to speak up and I don't like where this is going. I don't like this at all. In fact, and he like looks at his potato sack. He's like, if I had my armor, it'd be another thing. That lovely leather, the leather stuff that helps with a dagger. I don't know what it actually does.
Riker looks over to the gnome and he's like, "You think you're nervous? I don't like dogs. They give me the heebie-jeebies."
Fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair, Riker. And he kind of like grimaces and like kind of like trails off. So,
I then pull out my cast iron pot that I apparently have. You think you could wear this? It's kind of your size. As he like holds it up, because it's a pot by Leonin standards, so it's pretty big.
I'm just gonna walk up to the pot and start stabbing it to show that his knife can't go through.
he puts it on over his head and he's like, I mean, it technically could work. And he like flips it over. He like flips it over and like sits in it and is like, if somebody wants to carry me, this'll work too.
I could probably punch holes in it if you were to wear it like pants. Just giving you options here. You say you don't have armor, so I thought I might be useful. Not that I'm
Unironically,
not useful. I'm very useful. Looks like
unironically, I think I'll be fine as long as you are all around protecting me.
Yes.
Yeah, I overall think we're fine.
you give Riker kind of gives a smile. He's like, thank God this is what I cook ramen in.
Floof will just take off his shield from off his arm and just hand it to the guy to give him like +2 AC, which nerfs mine down to not +2.
Thank you,
Well-
thank you, Floof.
I-
This will be very helpful, actually. And he like holds it like this shield is about as big as him because like this is rather short gnome. Wait, how tall is Floof?
Like 4 feet tall, I think.
Okay, so he's 3 foot tall, so he's about the same size as you then, just a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
So he's like,
Pretty
this will
short
help
gnome.
quite a bit then.
No, Floof is not still licking the floor. That was a one-time thing.
He's just been
I'm-
looking at the entire time.
Just like,
Just-
"Ah."
just-
gonna
just like
look
a
at
divot,
the-
There's like a divot in the ground from his tongue. Just continues.
I'm gonna look at the footprints and I'm like, okay, well, I know what it may seem like. I'm gonna look up. What's the moon looking like?
The moon is looking like a partially full moon. It's a waning moon, but it is last night was a full moon, and today is like the next cycle.
Mhm.
So it's like the partial. I don't know what it's called actually, but it's I
I'm
know
like,
it's,
Waning,
Waning.
waxing, something like
yeah, I know it's a
So one
waning
of those
moon,
two.
but I
I'm
don't
the witch.
know
I
what
should
the
know
next-
this. I have no idea what it's called.
Yeah, yeah, Luana, your entire thing is like moon cycles and astrology. So like, what does it mean? The number space, and what do they mean?
I look. I'm like, okay. I know what he may look like, but I met a shifter before. Let's not assume things. Because if it is what we think it is, he might be really, really dangerous. So let's think positively.
Positively dangerous.
Riker looks around. Am I the only one that doesn't know what a shifter is?
Oh,
Oh,
Well-
I can explain that. It is
yes, yes.
a shifter is a humanoid that has the genetic ability to somewhat shift into a more bestial thing. Think of a werewolf who can transform into a werewolf at will, but not nearly as strong or cursed. It's more like a willing, and it just happens if they want to. They do the thing and it happens, and it yes.
Floof looks down at his humanoid bird self and just goes and starts like focusing really hard.
Oh, floof.
What's
So
going
on this note, what do you three think we should do? Because I, for one, I'm just gonna be honest here. I'm defaulting to you three. I just want to get home, and hopefully not have to deal with random horrible creatures. So it's completely up to you because you people deal with this stuff much more than I do. At this point, you can tell he's trying to hold it together. He's not trying to be scared, but he's like subtly shaking, and you can kind of tell like on his shoulders.
Floof's just also gonna hand him the boomerang. Still with a slight dent in it from that guy's head, session 1.
He takes it and he's like, "Thank you, Floof. I shall do what I can."
I
In the-
want it
in the
back
last-
when you're done.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You shall get this back as soon as we don't need protection anymore. Riker?
Down, just like, wait. Oh, big strong man, probably the one making the decisions. You right.
Unironically, he's assuming you're the one in charge because you were up front because you saved him.
Floof is obviously the one in charge.
Let's keep moving.
If
Sounds
that's what you find best, then we shall keep moving then.
Moving right along.
Moving right along.
Okay. So do you guys continue on the road, or do you go into the woods? Do you head back? What is your directional gating, I guess?
I think it would be best if we kept on the road. Yes?
Yeah, you're talking to me, right?
Yes. Floof doesn't have a lot of,
Floof is just
Insight?
gonna pull out his horn, and he's gonna hold it in front of his mouth, but not actually play it, and you just hear from his mouth smooth jazz. He has a beak. He can't actually play the horn.
mimicking. You're just mimicking the
Yeah.
smooth jazz.
Yeah, 'cause he can't actually play the horn. He has a beak. Do you know how bad that would sound?
Okay.
What do you play though? Floof now has inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Also, I do want to point out or say something to the chat real quick. Thank you for everybody's questions, because you're telling me exactly the information I need to add to the overlay while we're on downtime. So basically, next time, all this overlay is going to be like revamped next time we play, I think.
Technically, my 2 19s are 20s now as well.
Yeah,
If you wanna- if
a
you
whole
wanna
bunch
see
of overlay
the-
update.
If you want to see the actual like stats and stuff of the characters, we have the D&D Beyond overlay on there, and that's got all the new specifics on
Oh
it.
yeah, if you're on PC, you can literally click
Yeah.
on us. Sadly, I don't think that's a thing for mobile yet.
Yeah.
No, not yet. I can't click on anything here.
Nice call out. So on that note, with you guys moving forward on the road, at this point, I need Riker, if you're leading again, please make one more perception check and a survival check. And let me know
Can we
what they
also
both
make a
are.
perception check in the background just to keep an ear out if I hear anything?
Yes, ma'am,
Floof
you
is
can.
still playing smooth jazz and holding his. I'm gonna move the light cantrip over to my horn now, and just have my switchblade just in my hand, just.
Oh, natural 20, so that's gonna be a 28,
Natural
baby.
20? Okay.
Also, my dice went from cursed to blessed. That is a 19 perception and a 23 on survival.
All right. On this note,
We'd love to see it.
okay. So with your
I got a 17 for smooth jazz.
okay. So you know what? Here's what I'm gonna say. Because of Floof's smooth jazz, you guys now have you two both also have inspiration now.
Oh, bet.
So you both have that now. With that being said, your 20 or your 20 plus 20 with survival, 20 plus with survival, you guys keep on the road, no problems whatsoever. You don't notice any any more footprints. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. You don't see any like branches being broken off. You don't see the horses. You don't see any sign of anything that had been on this road. That was the survival check. The perception was your continued perception as you're walking along. And for both of you now, you've heard... We all saw that, Luana.
We know what you've done.
Here, Lou. Here's your tutorial. You take the popcorn from the bag and you go.
All
You keep
one
it in
smooth
your
motion.
mouth.
You can also do the same with dice, just like,
Do not eat dice.
don't
Chris,
eat
please.
dice, don't eat dice.
Chris, I thought you were going to therapy for this. You got to stop eating dice, man.
No.
Chris,
The
whole
therapy
stream
is for
intervention.
other things. That's for the mental health. The dice is just a side effect of all that. Because shiny,
Yeah, really calm down like that.
Hey,
shiny
this is
click
the
clack
time
make happy.
Don't eat dice too, Chris.
Yeah,
Chat
this is
said
the
you're
time
also
that we
on.
have to disclaimer, do not eat dice. You
Yes,
can
do not eat
literally
dice.
choke.
Do
If
not
it's-
do anything you see on this stream.
If you see us do it, odds are it's not a good idea. So
Yeah,
there's
don't
that.
eat popcorn or cashews either.
unless
apparently.
unless
Drink
what you're
water,
seeing
Drink water. Do drink
unless
water.
what
I
you're
was thinking
seeing
about
is
drink
us
water.
playing D&D. That is acceptable.
Ducky, forbidden jawbreaker.
Oh no!
Be in the chat.
Oh my god.
Can we get a hashtag forbidden jawbreaker in the chat, Chris? Our first emote needs to just be a dice that says forbidden jawbreaker on it now.
Yep. As soon as we hit
Please.
affiliate, that's our first emote, okay? That's going to be our first emote.
Hells yeah.
Forbidden Jawbreaker.
Forbidden
With that being
Jawbreaker.
said,
Da-da-da-da.
back to the character. With you guys's, with your guys's amazing perception checks, you have actually been walking along, and everything seemed about fine. You can see in the distance, probably about a mile out, you can see the city gates of what you presume to be Etopresnia, because that has been the road that you've been following this time. You came across a three-way split, and to the left there was Silver Point, to the right was Raven's Roost, and to the straight was Etopresnia. And very enthusiastically, Siegfried just kind of took off running to the center, which you guys then very quickly caught up with. But as you guys are about a mile out from the gate, you can see the lights over the distance in the horizon. You start hearing from the woods to the left the sounds of twigs crunching, the sounds of animals running, and you hear in the background a wolf howling. With that being said, you don't see anything yet. Nothing has come out, but you do hear things happening in the woods.
Riker.
Can
You can hear.
Floof mimic the howl?
You can.
I'd like to grab the gnome.
Yes, that's a good job. That's exactly what I would say.
I'm assuming we have a faster movement speed than this gnome, unless he's a
You do.
closeted monk.
He is not. Y'all's 35 movement speed is in fact faster. Wait a minute. So both of you have 35. You're
Yes, I'm
constantly
gonna pick
carrying
up
Floof. You're carrying me. Yeah. So you guys are running 35. You guys are basically doing 35 now. Now, Floof, you hear, and with your hearing and your sound differentiation of a Kinku, you notice that the howls that you keep hearing are actually two different howls. And you hear them kind of opposing each other.
Does Floof get to pick the volume of the things he's mimicking, or does he have to do it with the volume he heard it?
You can choose volume. You can choose volume. You don't have to like
he's
shriek.
He's quietly going to do both howls to like show that try to show that they're different.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just gonna keep like switching between the two to be like, hey, not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We gotta go faster, Riker.
Dash.
Hang on. Do I have any spells that can help us go faster? I need to remember that I have guidance. I keep forgetting guidance.
Hold up.
That is a
I think
cantrip.
I do.
Yeah,
Give me a second.
movement spells.
I don't have any, no. I can make somebody tell the truth, though.
Ooh.
Truth serum engage.
But it's only one
Zone
person.
of truth.
I hint Floof to Riker.
He
And
can walk. His movement speed's only like 5 feet less than your all's.
Which will technically every 10 seconds you get 10 feet behind us. Or 6
Oh.
seconds you get 10 feet behind us.
Gnome the grab.
Okay.
Grab the gnome! Grab
there's
the
not
gnome!
anything that like gives extra speed. It just says strength and dex. Like
Sadly, I'm not a tabaxi, so I don't have feline agility.
that's
That
true.
would be awesome.
I can't
Then
fly.
never mind. Never mind. I just keep.
I can throw the gnome or the king.
Kenku
We
just
just
starts
go-
trying to fly.
Right over the city walls when we get there.
Just keep trying to get
Okay.
there as fast as we can.
Okay, so you guys are punt the gnome for extra speed. Okay.
I just saw that.
As you guys are dashing along, you guys are running along. I genuinely hate to say this was random encounter shit. You notice in front of you that there are two wolves now, like in front of you, but they are battling. At this point, they are fighting. They're quarreling, and this was the what do you call it? This is your how do I say this? Basically, you're seeing these two wolves fight, and they're running back and forth. You can see them going from like one side of the road to the other. You hear them in the woods, and they're basically like an all-out brawl. Sometimes they crash through in their hybrid forms. Sometimes they crash through in their wolves. There's just a combination of this fight going on. Until eventually you see one of them just like hobble out victorious after you hear a very loud yelp.
Floof's gonna hop out of whoever who's carrying him.
Me.
He's gonna wriggle out of your arms and he's gonna bolt for the woods where the yelp happened.
I follow him.
Has anyone told Riker to stop? He's in front.
I yell like, not thinking in just Sylvan. I just like yell like, you're like, Riker, look, but like in Sylvan.
As he keeps running.
Okay, Riker, in front of you, you see this hybrid wolf man in front of you, and it's hobbled out, and you can see, like, with your dark vision, it hasn't noticed. Well, I'll say it hasn't noticed you. It's heard you. It's heard you all running because you've been running and you have armor. And it looks over at you, and you can tell it's been like gashed to shit. Like this thing has been attacked, and it's been through the ringer already. And as you hear Nyx yell in Sylvan, and you don't understand what's happening, and like you don't understand what she yelled, you see that they're no longer behind you. It's just you and the gnome now.
Oh no!
I just Riker just goes to a complete halt and just looks around. I could have sworn the goat was right behind me.
They were. I don't know where they are now. I think we have a bigger problem now. And the wolf kind of like turns to face you, and it lets out a howl. And at
I
that
noticed
point,
that Riker notices the gash and just goes, well, he doesn't seem that much of a threat anymore.
Oh, you would think. Now on that, roll initiative.
Hells yeah.
Oh
You wanna
my
roll-
I'm in
god!
danger.
Would you like us to roll 2 for when we come back, or
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, fantastic.
Actually,
That was terrible.
what do you call it? In a few minutes, whenever you guys come back into it, then you could go ahead and roll. But until then, you guys are now off in the woods on your own sub-adventure.
8
sorry for splitting the party?
8 initiative.
Okay, bitch.
You have an 8 initiative?
Yep.
Okay. So on that note, this one, nobody has a surprise round, so you go first.
Me?
Yes, you go first. The wolf
With an
is...
8?
Yikes.
Yes. So the wolf
Punch
the wolf is in front of you, probably about 40 foot in front of you, and it's standing there, and it's like sitting there, all
So,
just like hunched
It's
over.
in wolf form.
It is.
Is it in like humanoid wolf form?
It's in
or...
it's in hybrid form, so humanoid wolf form. Yes.
Riker will just kind of like approach the wolf on his turn, and just like, "Hello, are you okay?" As he like grips his axe, just in case he does attack. He'll ready an action to attack if it lunges at him.
Okay.
You seem kind of hurt.
And did you move at all, or did you just do that?
I like approached it a little bit.
Okay.
I don't. How far away is it?
I said 40 foot in front of you.
He'll go like 20 feet.
Okay, so you got about
And-
20 foot in front of you.
He'll like hold out one of his hands and be like, "Are we cool?"
At which
There's
point,
no need to fight unless you want to.
at this point, it snarls at you and dashes for you. So
That's why I read the attack action.
exactly, yeah. I knew that was gonna happen. So it runs. It's 20 foot to you. So your ready action would be to attack.
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll to hit.
Let's see here. Great axe time. 18 to hit.
That just about does it. Yep. Go ahead and
Oh,
roll.
yeah.
Yep. Go ahead and roll damage.
That'd be 11 damage.
All right. You slice it across in the same gash, and it lets out another "Hoo!" as it howls at the pain across his chest, and then it's going to attack you. Wait, you said you did how much damage?
11.
11. Okay. I just want to make sure I noted that down. So on that note, it's going to now attack you with its claws. So that's going to be a roll. How does a 17 to hit roll?
One above my armor class.
All right, so that does hit. It does. It It does a total of 7 damage.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm not raged yet, so it doesn't get
Okay.
halved, but
Sounds like a plan. And yeah,
Real
that's
quick,
all. Wait.
we
so it
didn't have a
has-
long rest since last session, right?
You did have a long rest. You had a long rest whenever you.
We did? Okay.
You made it
Fantastic.
to yeah, you made it to the tavern. That you guys had all reset that. So it's gonna do 2 claw attacks basically. So that first one was the 17 to hit, and the next one it's a 19 to hit. So basically that one also does the same exact dice roll, 7 damage again. Okay, so it did a cumulative total of 14 damage to you. This thing, as you slice across its chest, it lets out the howl, pulls its arms back in a claw, and kind of just like reaches out and slices across to your chest. And that's basically where it puts it there. At that point, it's going to look at you in your eyes and snarl. And now we're going to jump over to these two.
Okay.
What is
So-
Floof doing?
So Floof's running to where the one wolf came out.
Okay.
As fast as his little bird feet will take him.
Okay. Do
And
me
then-
a survival check.
All right. Let me check what my survival is. That's plus.
everybody in the chat be punt the forbidden football.
Punt the
They're
They're
forbidden
so
football.
terrible. They're so terrible.
21.
21? Okay, yeah. No, you follow this trail of like you find that where the werewolf came out at, you see that there is just
So it is
this
a werewolf.
trail of blood running to the edge. Yes, it's a werewolf. If the wolf shifting from
Jay.
wolf to human to wolf hybrid.
Could
yes,
have been a
it's
shifter.
werewolf. You're not wrong. But now with
Anyway.
that, basically you just follow this trail of blood. You follow this trail of like destroyed limbs, and you make your way to this clearing. And this clearing is pretty. Best way to describe it is out of this very thickly dense wooded area, mostly of pine trees and various like evergreens. This clearing is completely devoid of trees and saplings and leaves. It is just grass. And it is very tall grass, but it's grass nonetheless. And in the center of it, well, not really in the center of it, towards the center of the circle, you can already see with your passive perception because your passive what's 15?
17 now.
17? Yeah. With your passive of 17, you literally just see this thing in the center, and you see this body, this unmoving human, basically, with all this werewolf fur around him, blood's gushing from him, and he's just very heavily breathing at this
He's
point.
still breathing.
He is still breathing.
Floof's gonna run up and pump a first level cure wounds into him.
Okay. How much damage will that heal?
7.
7
I rolled a
damage?
2 on the D8.
Okay. At that point, he's very, very, very bloodied at this point still. Like, he is on the brink. But he is barely alive. And as you pump that 7 healing into him, you start seeing the fur around his hands start creeping its way back up very slowly. Very slowly. He is not conscious yet. I will tell you right now, he is not conscious yet. He is heavily breathing. He is grunting. You did
Can I
bring him back, but he is currently in the process of transforming again, basically.
Can I make a medicine check to like try to wake him up calmly before he goes bat crap crazy?
Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna just
Try to get this headphone to fit again.
That was a nat 1, so 6.
Nice.
No. He's still pretty out. He's pretty out at this point. And you get the feeling it's not from a... what would the word be? It's not from him being damaged. It's a side effect of his condition.
Then Floof's just gonna sit down because he didn't even think about everybody else or where he was going, so he's kind of lost now. So Floof's just gonna sit down and just start whistling a little song to this guy until he wakes up.
All right. By the time Nyx runs next to Floof after all this has happened, you can see the furs like up to about shoulder length on each arm.
Grab Floof, and I'll go be like, we are gonna have a talk. And I put him in my shoulder.
Scolding him like a child.
Yeah, no. I look at the werewolf.
Floof is trying to wriggle off your shoulders.
I'm holding him. We can help him later, but we are part of a party now. We have to stick together. And I go back with Floof on me to the combat.
Okay. Lou, I'm gonna need you to roll a survival check now.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
Okay, that is 24.
Okay. With all of y'all's like really good survival checks. Yeah, you guys straight up make your way back to the road. Give me a quick second. Okay. Yeah, you guys make it back to the road and you see Riker in the middle of battle with this werewolf. Do not roll initiative just yet. We're going to go through one more round with Riker, and then you guys can roll initiative. So Riker, it is now your turn once more. So this werewolf is right in front of you, just slashed you twice. You just cleaved across his chest with an axe, and it didn't like it, but it doesn't seem phased by that attack.
Having got sliced twice, Riker just kind of chuckles a little bit to himself. He closes his eyes and he goes, "This is why I don't like dogs." And then he opens his eyes and they're glowing blue again as some more of his ancestors spawn right next to him in ghostly form.
Okay.
As he rages as the ancestral guardian.
Okay. So I will say the werewolf, its eyes open up and it is startled at this. This is something new.
And then he'll just attack with his great axe, I guess.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack.
Nat 20.
Okay. Nat 20. Go ahead. And for crit, roll your damage. Actually, this is something I was wanting to try out. Basically, roll your damage and double it.
Plus the modifier? Or
plus the modifier. Plus the modifier. Okay. I've been seeing a lot of different ways to do crits recently. I'm like, okay, well, let's try a couple of these out and see how they work out.
Yeah.
Chaos, the rules could change at any time.
That's a solid 18 damage.
18 damage. Is that with the double?
That's with double.
Okay. 18 damage. Whoo, yeah, this boy is not feeling great right now. He got sliced with that one, and you basically gave him a matching scar across his chest the other side, and it went super deep. You heard bone crunching at that attack. And you kind of threw it back some. So it got thrown back like 5 feet. It's still within range, but it's just stumbling backwards now. And it's now looking around kind of frantically.
It sees a very elderly male Leonin ghost and a very young female Leonin ghost right next to me.
It seems like it's outnumbered now. Okay.
It seems that way.
It seems that way. So on that note, he is going to. Yeah, he's gonna eat an attack of opportunity as he turns around to flee into the woods.
Oh. All right.
He is in a state of, I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge.
Quick question. Could my attack of opportunity be used to grab him and grapple him?
Grapple is considered an attack, so yes.
All right. So would that be...
That would be an opposed strength check. So it would be your athletics.
Athletics, okay. It's not terrible. 17?
He rolled a 15. So as he turns around to run, you basically get over here, grab him, and yank him back. And he has no movement speed now. And he is going to use his attack. He's only going to use one attack because of his attempt to run. He's just going to be thrashing around with his claws and trying to bite. So he'd be thrashing around with his claws. You would have grabbed him from behind. He would not be able to bite, so he'd be thrashing around with his claws. Yeah, no, even with that one, he rolled an 8. So his attack doesn't even land with that one. Yeah, and the werewolf is now in your arms. Luana and Jay, roll initiative for me. And we're going to go back to the top of the initiative order. So depending on how they fall in this.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20.
What? What's your dex? Hold up.
15 plus 5.
What?
15 plus 5.
That's your
Oh,
initiative,
bruh.
not your dex.
Oh, my dex is plus 5. Initiative and dex are the same thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so
He goes first.
yeah, on that
Sorry.
note, Jay's going first, then Lou, then Riker. So you guys come out of the woods from the way that you came in, and you see Riker. You come in at the perfect time where you see this werewolf trying to run away, and you see Riker yank and grab him and just yeet him back over to him.
So Floof grabs his cloak, his own cloak that he's wearing, and he
Okay.
like JoJo rips it off of himself.
Okay.
His feathers go straight down. How far away are they from me?
They are probably want to say about 30 foot away from you now.
Perfect. That's my movement.
Okay.
And so Floof is just gonna hightail it right up to the thing, and you can see, like, in both of you can see if you like make eye contact with him as he goes by, he is grumpy right now. He's gonna just like mom walk up to it, like you know when moms like their kid touches something on the shelf it's not supposed to, they like power walk up and grab the kid.
Yeah.
Does that. And as he does so, his hands start to crackle with lightning. And I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds at 2nd level.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Just grab it by the face.
Roll an attack with advantage.
Oh, okay. Well, the first one was this 24, because 17 plus freaking 7, but we'll do it again just in case we can get a 20. Nope, it's going to be the 24.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's going to be 40-10.
Oh my god!
So I rolled a 10, a 7, an 8, and a 10, so that's 35 damage.
Jesus!
How do you do
Can
this?
I make it non-lethal inflict?
How do you do this? No.
It's not possible.
How do you necrotic this thing away?
Floof literally just angrily stomps past Stryker, who's holding it, grabs the thing by the snout, and just goes... And it's
Dude,
like...
you could not grab it by the snout.
yeah, that's fair. He's gonna grab
It's
it by the,
probably
like...
taller than Riker.
He's gonna grab it by, like, whatever's closest that isn't its nuts, then. No. Floof's gonna grab it right by the nuts. And Floof's just gonna go, I hate dogs, in Riker's voice. And then you just see lightning crackle through the whole thing and slowly encase it, and it just starts to disintegrate.
It's balls?
No, just the whole thing from the walls.
Okay.
So starting
So
from
yeah,
the
I
balls.
rolled
like-
2.
So starting from the
It's-
balls, this thing just disintegrates down.
Oh, you completely killed it.
Yo, yeah, no. Full disclosure, it had 4 health when you finished it. Like when you finished that last attack. So
I should have just stabbed it.
11 plus 18, 33 damage. It would still be alive by a thread.
That's fair. Technically, it wouldn't be fully dead, so it just disintegrates its balls, and the rest of it just is in pain. So I did
Jesus.
castrate it.
yeah, this thing, it falls dead.
You
It falls
nurtured
dead,
the
though.
dog.
Holy
And then Floof looks up at Riker and goes, always neuter your pets. And then just stomps back over to his cloak and throws it back on.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, no, that happens, and it just falls. And Riker, now you're holding a dead werewolf carcass.
He just looks at it and then looks over at Floof and says, I had that handled. Literally. As he like holds it up.
Siegfried kind of just like looks from behind Riker and like, well, that was not very nice. I'm glad it's dead. Whew. Okay.
Are we at initiative?
Yeah, you guys are out of initiative.
I just stomp the ground and I yell, "Floof!"
Floof ignores her. Does Riker look hurt?
He looks annoyed.
Does he look hurt though? Has he taken damage?
No, not really.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
I'm
he's very good
stomping.
at masking.
as
the
you guys
pain.
as you guys see this happening, you see coming from over the horizon, you see the sun is starting to rise. You see like the first specks of daybreak coming on over. You guys have been traveling and dealing with these things all night.
I'm stomping towards Floof. And I'm like, fuming.
You guys have been dealing with this thing
Bird
all
whistling
night,
noises, I can't
and
actually
this
whistle that
entire
well.
time, it's not felt like all night, but it's morning now.
Love
The
that.
time, the time feels like it just didn't exist for you.
Like, Riker
That's
turns
okay.
back around to Siegfried and is like, Siegfried, you know this city, right?
Yes, I do. Hopefully there's no werewolves within the city. I don't like that. That's ooh.
If you kill a werewolf in its werewolf form, does it stay a werewolf?
I don't know. And he like looks down at it.
He just looks over. He just looks at the dead werewolf. He's like, "Well, we'll either have a very probably expensive werewolf pelt or a naked man in the next few seconds."
And over the next few minutes, as the sun comes up and it hits the body, it does turn into human.
He just drops it.
And as you drop it and it hits the floor, you just see like this pasty skinned, scrawny man. He's just like dead now. And I will say, he is so scrawny because exactly, he is so scrawny because of Jay's necrotic inflict wounds. It just basically absorbed everything and destroyed him.
Oh,
It's like a very skeletal like person.
I really said, "Yo, Ryan, hold my beer. I'm stealing your kill."
That's why Riker's annoyed.
I'm gonna keep stomping, and when I get next to Floof, I'm gonna pick him up and like, Riker, hold him looking at me.
He just kind of looks at it, grabs him by the back of his neck, and just
A
goes.
little bit of
"Gladly."
electricity flickers off of Floof.
It just goes
And-
gladly. He's still raged right now. Just so you know,
Nyx,
it's like flickering, but he's still raged.
Okay.
Nyx looks pissed. She's like, "You listen here, bird. We are not," and I get the beak and I make him make eye contact with me. "It's not just you and me now. We are a party. You can't just run off like that. You have to think of others. I understand you were trying to help him, but you can't keep doing that."
In Nix's voice, he just looks at her and goes, "We have to help them."
I look around and is like, help him? Who are you talking about?
The other werewolf. I just like normal tone towards her.
He just raises an eyebrow. There's another one.
Yes, he was hurt, but then Floof healed a little bit, but still unconscious in the clearing. But listen here.
So there's another naked man over there.
I think so,
This
but he
one's
looked
probably
like
still alive.
yeah, he was still alive. I'm very disappointed.
He just like drops Floof with you still holding his beak, and then he just kind of
Don't kill him.
just grabs some cloth. He's like, I'm not gonna kill him. He's naked. He probably needs some clothes. And he just walks away while grabbing like some cloth out of his bag and just kind of marches into the clearing.
Okay. As you march into the clearing, you do
Wait,
find.
were you done roasting me?
What?
Were
I'm
you
still
done
holding
roasting
your
me?
beak.
Yeah, you keep
No, I'm
getting cut
still-
off. I just want to make sure you're good.
I'm still holding your beak. I'm like, I'm very disappointed in you, Floof.
All right.
Okay, I understand you want to help people, but
No, I'm totally here for it if you want to keep going with that, Lou, because like that.
Yeah,
I
Go
just keep
ahead.
was like, I'm like the whole like, I'm not angry. I'm just very, very disappointed in you. Okay.
Floof just does the biggest shake and poofs his feathers back up and just stares there making dead eye contact with you.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's not just you and me now. We have someone else in the party, and we have to think of them. And I let go of his beak, and I go to help Riker.
All right. On that note, Riker, as you head to the clearing, I will say you don't notice a naked man laying in the clearing. You see a lot of blood, but you don't find a body. You do see a trail of blood leading north towards the area where it would be the city, but you see the blood trail start thinning out until you see nothing left over there. Like no blood trail going. You could roll survival if you want to investigate further, or it's dependent on what you want to do at that point. But you do see that the blood flow has stopped and it had a trail going north towards the city area.
Riker will look back to see if Nyx or Floof or Siegfried is behind him now.
Siegfried did not follow you. He stayed with Nyx and Floof because on main road he's not going looking for a werewolf. But if Floof and Nyx followed, then he would follow them.
Yeah, Nyx, after yelling at Floof, started going towards the clearing.
Okay.
Floof's gonna be grumpy and sit down next to Siegfried, so we're not just leaving this gnome alone.
Would Siegfried willingly stay with just Floof?
No, absolutely not. He would follow Nyx immediately.
Floof stands back up and follows you.
Yeah, no, like he would see if Floof would sit down, he would see Nyx walk away and he'd be like, "Are we following?" Floof plops down next to him. Nyx, I'm following.
And I was like, okay, come here. And I just like slow down a little bit so he can catch up, but I keep going. I just ignore Floof completely.
And he basically catches up with you like in a heartbeat. He's like, "Yep, I'm running. I'm getting there. He's right next to you, and he is like trailing your footsteps. He is not walking next to you. He's walking right behind you because he is not being front and center." Okay, what is Riker doing in this aspect now? Because at this point, all the three of them do end up making their way to you.
He's gonna try to track him.
Okay, go ahead and roll survival then.
12.
12. Okay. You follow the trail.
Wait.
You follow the trail well enough. Go
Wait. Inspiration. Can I roll with advantage?
on. You can.
Oh, that's way better. 21.
21. Absolutely. You follow the trail directly to the you follow the trail through the woods up to not a city gate but to the city walls. And along that you can see that in the city wall, it's not a large stone wall, they're large wooden walls. There are some, not planks, but there are these logs that are who here played with Lincoln Logs? Anybody else here played with Lincoln Logs? They're basically like whenever you get Lincoln Logs and you stack a wall of Lincoln Logs. And there's one of them just loose enough that you're able to see was moved open and is movable.
Okay.
And
Riker's
go on.
just gonna look around and see if there's any guards on the wall right now.
There isn't any guards on the wall that you can see now.
Okay.
You can actually see like where the wall would like be turning around, and you see so basically here's the wall. Here's where you guys are. The road's like over here. You can see where the road would be leading towards the wall, but you don't see the front gate itself.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can see that's like going around a corner, roundabout.
Gotcha. Okay.
Um,
He'll turn around and just relay them about the loose plank and stuff to the party.
Oh, that's that's not very secure, I would say. I mean, it's not like that. It's not like a major city to begin with, so I mean, it's not like you need massive security. The gate's always open, but still, it's just rather concerning that the wall has been messed with in some capacity.
This looks over at Nyx and Floof. Well, did y'all get a good enough look at his face that you could probably identify him if we see him?
I didn't really look at him.
I
I
sat
looked
with him,
out.
did I?
Do what?
I like sat down and sang to him. Did I see him?
Give me a history check real quick.
Okay.
History check or intelligence, whichever is higher for you, because I can't remember if history is an intelligence stat or not.
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd just be history then.
15.
15.
13 plus 2.
You don't. You definitely could pick him out in a lineup. If you saw him, if you saw him, you'd be able to like nail him if you're looking right at him. But if you're like just generally looking at a crowd, you wouldn't be able to like pick him out. But if you went to if you saw him in a market, or if you like looked directly at him and started talking to him, stuff like that, you'd be able to pick him out.
Floof just kind of nods.
Well, we might that will be good information to keep an eye out for. Can we go inside?
Yes. Riker nods and then goes, I prefer not to go through the tiny little hole in the wall.
I will say the hole in the wall, it is small in the regards that you, Riker, would have to get on your knees and like crawl through, but somebody like
Can Floof
could just like walk through it.
Can Floof look through, see what's in there?
Yeah, go ahead. You don't even have to roll anything for that. So basically, whenever you look through there, you see the backs of buildings. Like you open the door, the wall, you pop your head through, and you see the backs of buildings. It's not anything in particular. You can't tell if they're residential, commercial, anything in particular.
Can
but
Floof walk around to see the street?
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. You're in Etoperesnia. You walk through there, and it is early morning at this point. You walk from behind these buildings onto the street, and you see this kind of like large circular plaza area. And you see that each of these buildings was kind of a combination shop home. Bottom floor be shop with top, or behind it being a home. There is nobody out on the street at this point. The only people that you can tell are the people like in the windows in the buildings up above you.
Do I see tracks or anything?
You do
from
not.
The guy?
I will tell you,
Okay.
you do not, because it is a kind of a cobblestone type thing, and you don't see.
But
any
if I go back to the fence, could I see, or the gate, could I see?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like you'd have tracks leading
got
up to the wall, but you don't have any inside. There's not like mud. There's not any like blood or anything
Floof will
leading
go
away.
back through.
All right. So on that note, what is y'all's plan right now? Are you guys just gonna go through the front door?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not enemies, so we might as well go through the front. And Siegfried says the gates are always open, so.
Yeah. So as you guys make your way around the gate, you guys go through the front. There isn't a whole lot of guard activity. There's two men on post. One of them has a deck of cards like in his hand, and he's just like flipping them out, like counting through them, practicing what you guys in our world would know as card tricks. He's trying to make some, and his friend's like, "What are you doing with our deck? Like, you're going to ruin them if you keep bending them in those ways." No, that is not my card. That's not the card I put in the deck. What are you doing?
What's my sleight of hand?
Mine's +7. I'm very tempted.
Yeah, I'm like, would this be performance or sleight of hand?
What are you attempting to do?
I want to try to do what he's failing miserably to do.
This would be sleight of hand, and
Okay.
they're gonna be like, "Oh, welcome to Etoperesnia. Everybody's
Hello.
kind of closed right now. The only place that'd be open would be the inn in approximately." They like look down at their wrists, and there's nothing there. They're like, did you bring the sundial?" Yeah, I did.
I like when there are cars, but we still use sundials.
Listen, like I said, those are very rich things.
Yes.
I don't plan these things. These are almost entirely improv. The technology doesn't make sense.
They're very advanced in certain places.
Certain places.
I see you're
very
doing-
certain places.
I see you're doing card things. May I try it? Oh no, Siri, go away.
You absolutely can. I've been working on some tricks for a while that I'm trying to figure out, but my compatriot here thinks that they're a waste of time. He like hands you the deck.
Fantastic. I'm gonna use my inspiration for this.
Okay.
So, sleight of hand, you said, yeah?
Yes.
Thank God for inspiration. That would have been so terrible. Okay, so that's gonna be a 22.
Age 22. Okay. What do you do? Like, what is your goal here?
I'm gonna show them a card, and I'm gonna be like, keep this guy in mind, and I'm gonna start doing like a bunch of like tricks with it, like the whole like rainbow thing.
So
and,
yeah,
like,
you're gonna do a bunch of flourishes. You're gonna make it look like you're doing a whole
Yes.
bunch of fancy shuffles.
and then I'm gonna pull out hopefully their card.
You with your 22, you do pull out their card, and with their insight being so damn low, they don't see a thing. They're like, "Oh my god! That's what you should be learning. That's what you should be trying to do. That's what I've been trying. That's what I've been trying to do. How did you? Oh my god! I have so much to learn. Where did you
Floof?
study this?"
Floof
College.
is gonna walk up and just take the cards from her for a second. Or
What
Floof's
that
gonna take the card.
that guard. Genuinely, at this point, what college did you go to?
College of Clever.
He takes his helmet off, hands it to his friend, and starts walking.
Have fun.
Wait,
Where are the
no,
cards?
no.
It's
Where are the cards?
still holding it.
Can Floof just take them real quick? And he wants to run after the guy, and can you show him how the trick is done?
Riker's just sitting there with Siegfried, currently bleeding out of multiple wounds.
You said you look hurt! Floof was gonna heal
He
you!
doesn't look hurt, but he's literally got like,
Okay.
2 claw marks on his chest.
Siegfried then like after seeing that he's like the inn is that way, and he like points you like towards the plaza, across the plaza, and he's like, there's the inn on the other side, and we can go there and get you bandaged up if you want, Riker, and I would like to get clothes, honestly. The other guard is like chasing after his friend. He's like, hey, wait, no, don't, please don't.
Riker just looks down at his wounds and just kind of shrugs. Sure, why not?
Okay, so what was Floof doing after that?
Floof was going to take the cards and go show the guy how the trick is done, just to annoy Nyx.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a performance. Yeah, performance.
Can I also do sleight of hand?
Sure, go ahead.
Good, I'm better at that.
Please fail. Please
Oh, I
fail.
rolled a 4.
You roll
Yes!
a 4.
So that's a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 to show him
Okay,
how the trick
in
is done.
11, you do the trick very sloppily, like extremely sloppy compared to Nyx. It still does good. It still does good. Like, you still finish it, but it's one of those, like,
I'm giving him a really
much-
crappy step-by-step walkthrough, but because I'm a Kenku, I can't say exactly what I'm doing, so like
Exactly.
the voices are all choppy.
Exactly, that's what's happening. And he's like, I think college might be a better option. And then his friend catches up to him. Where do you think he came from? He had to come from somewhere. And he's like, no, that's a fair point. And at that point, they go back to their discussion. Like, they're still like down there on the road, like down a bit of ways. And after Floof is done with his demonstration, do you just like start heading back to the group?
Yeah, Floof's gonna put the cards in his pocket and head back to the group.
Okay. So you basically leave them as they're having like this discussion of college at this point. College
Yeah.
of Glamour specifically.
Add deck of cards to inventory.
Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly.
Add a deck of cards to your inventory. Yeah. These are a very worn deck of cards. They've been used by these guards quite a bit. They don't have any obvious tells, but you can tell from the edges that they've been played quite a bit. Yeah, and you have a deck of cards in your Floof. You just have a deck of cards now. I don't. Chaos Brigade. We get our
As
name from
that's-
somewhere. We get our name from
Yep,
somewhere.
as that happens, I'm like looking at like Riker. I'm like, that was fun. I never tried that before. That was fun.
Yeah.
I
okay.
thought Riker had already walked off to the plaza.
Oh!
Riker is in the plaza now, like heading towards the inn. And Siegfried's just like kind of leading him on his way. Okay.
I shall go after Riker then.
Okay, yeah, that's ends up what happens. You make your way you make your way up to the and Riker's already like up at the door. The inn is open. You walk through the front door. You are all like, it's pretty empty at this point. It's super early, and Siegfried just yells, "Roy!" And then you hear another gnome, "Siegfried!" And he like runs from around. He runs from around the counter, and he's like, "Bro, what happened to your clothes? You're supposed to be here yesterday." And Siegfried's like, "Yeah, I know. I was supposed to be here yesterday. Long story short, shit happened. I got robbed, and these wonderful people helped me out." And he kind of like takes him off to the side. All of you roll a perception check for me real quick.
Wait, am I the only one there, or have they gotten here
No,
now?
we followed.
Okay, you go.
They followed, so.
Not too bad. That's a 17 for Riker.
18, 11 plus 7.
25.
25?
Oh, God.
Okay.
Of course.
Nix is the one that hears. Nix is the one that hears this, and you just hear Siegfried talk to Roy. "Listen, they stole my money. Not them. The people that robbed me stole my money, and these wonderful people helped me get here. They helped save me from a werewolf. I kind of told them that they could stay here for free and eat for free while they're here. Thanks, bro." And he like pats him on the chest, and there is just a look of utter like the audacity from Roy. And he just like walks over. "You guys have rooms, apparently, thanks to Siegfried. So let me show you to them." And he shoots Siegfried a dirty look as you guys walk down the hall. And he leads you guys upstairs. And you basically go to the first 3 doors. You get to the right. And he's like, "Is there any rooming arrangements that we should be aware of? Do you guys have any preferences? Rooming mates, bunk mates, or individual rooms?"
He can't have a window.
He looks at the right. He looks at the right doors. "All right, you have this left door now."
Window.
And he like he opens the door, and like there's a windowless room in there.
Riker looks down at the new gnome and goes, "Any room would be appreciated, but I do apologize for this." And he points down at the tiny puddle of blood underneath him.
Floof's just gonna cure wounds. Floof just goes, cure wounds.
Roy kind of just like sighs, and he's like, "It's not a problem. We deal with this quite a bit. Adventurers passing through and just general mishaps. Yeah."
Ryan, you get 9 hit points back.
Your room is right over here to the right. Yeah, just see yourselves to it. Breakfast will be ready in eventually at this point. I'm gonna go talk with my brother. If you need anything, we should be downstairs." And he goes downstairs, and you can hear with like him walking down these stairs, there's a heavy there's like he's letting his weight hit every single step, and he is stomping his way down these stairs.
What a nice gentleman.
Okay, so what are you guys doing at this point? Because it is now early morning. You guys were up all night. You guys at this point are getting close to needing to roll a Constitution save for an exhaustion check.
Yeah, we can't take a long rest now, right? Since it's like really early in the morning.
You can take a long rest whenever you want. It's 8 hours of rest, and I think it's like 6 hours of sleep. 8 hours of cumulative rest in general. You guys have been up all night, so daylight won't be an issue for you sleeping. And there's also curtains in each of the rooms. It's more just a time investment sort of thing.
I think we should all take a very long nap.
Riker's just, but it's daylight.
Is Riker gonna be is Riker the one that's gonna be like staying up until like 9 o'clock, well, even though he's exhausted just to sleep at time? Okay.
He's like, what do you know about what time it is?
I look at my wrist with nothing. I have no idea.
I will say, you guys know it's probably about 8 or 9 a.m. Like it is, or not 8 or 9 a.m. 6 or 7 a.m. Like sun's just barely coming up. People are getting started with their day.
He's used to waking up at 8, so he'll just should naturally get up at about 8. So I'll take a little bit of a
fair.
nap, and then he like walks into his
Yeah.
room and closes the door.
Does he have a room with a window?
He does, yes.
Floof is also going to walk into his room and stand just staring out the window. Like
I'll
he's not going to open it. He's not going to jump. He just stands there. And you, Riker, go ahead.
Can I just grab Floof?
As you touch him, you feel that he is rigid. Like he is, like he doesn't move.
I'll just
He's
pick
like
him up.
he's like a board.
I just pick him up and look him in the eyes. And no. I drop him outside the room and close the door.
Like
And you hear
a
a-
child.
You hear a little click noise as he locks the door. I mean, you hear the scraping of beds as he probably puts 2 beds together.
That's exactly what you hear, because there are two twin-sized beds in there, and as Riker would know, they work-ish. They're very tall. They're definitely designed with a multitude of guests in mind, but they are not designed for much like width or swollenness to be held up. So you putting the 2 beds together, that's something you've had to do quite often in these places.
Gotcha.
And you can
has
tell these are
Neeks-
like the mass-produced. These are the mass-produced beds that you're like, yep, feels like travel.
Has Ninx closed her door? Or
No,
can
not
Floof,
yet.
Okay, Floof's gonna immediately walk into her room and just sentry right by the window, just staring out it.
The lion, the witch, and the audacity of this little bitch. I walk inside the room, and I'm like, excuse me?
No response.
No. I pick him up, and I
Again,
just
he
drag
sniffs the board.
I'm just put him outside. I'm like, not after what you did, and I just close the door on him, and I also
Lock him in his own room.
Can Floof go down to the other doors and try them to see if any are unlocked?
You can surely try.
Floof
while
will
that's
try.
happening, I'm gonna take a short rest.
All right, yeah. Now I do want to ask you two real quick. Are you going to take a nap for a short rest, or are you going to try to sleep until dusk for a long rest?
I'm going. Riker's gonna only take a short rest.
Yeah,
Okay.
just a short rest. I didn't even spend any spell slots, so
I'm
Okay.
gonna use 1 hit die for him.
Okay. Sounds like
As
a
well.
wonderful plan. So yeah, you guys just take a short bout. What is a short rest? A 2-hour nap or a 2-hour?
At
rest?
least
at least
1
1
hour.
hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least an hour. Okay, so yeah, Riker, how long are you? I'm gonna deal with Jays in a minute, but I want to know how long you guys are taking a nap for.
Till about 8.
Okay,
In
so
the
you're
morning.
you're
So-
asleep for about an hour and a half, right about then.
Yep.
Now, what about you, Lil?
I'm just gonna take a nap until I hear noises in the other rooms. So
Okay.
Do I need to make a con save just to make sure he's not still exhausted?
I'm gonna say because you're taking that short rest, you will have to make one, but not right now. You're gonna this is pushing off your exhaustion check basically,
Gotcha.
because a power nap, you're napping and you're pushing off the inevitable crash.
And I got a 20 in con. Let's go.
Yeah, so you're gonna be pretty good at this one. Can't say the same about Nyx or Floof. What is your goal? How are you doing this?
Floof
I will
just
say-
wants a window to look out at the street. Like, so he's trying to see if any of the rooms are unlocked. He doesn't know how to pick locks. He does have sleight of hand, but he doesn't have like actual lock picks. And he doesn't want to break any property, so he's just looking for a window.
Okay. On this floor there are 8 rooms total. On the second story there are 8 rooms total. There's 4 on your left, which are towards the interior, and 4 on your right, which are towards the can't think of what it's called. The
Did that
street.
gnome ever give me my stuff back?
He has not yet. No.
Okay, Floof will remember that, but he's also
As
tired.
you are checking through each of these doors, you pass by Nyx's door, you try it, locked. You pass by Riker's door, you try it again, locked. You pass to this third door, you try it, and it's unlocked.
Floof will go in, and he will just sentry by the window and take his short rest.
Okay.
So I can see out the windows, so if the werewolf goes by, I want to go for it.
Okay. You are sentryed by the window. How long are you going to be there? You're taking the short rest?
Yeah, I'll just take the short rest.
Okay.
I technically only need 6 hours, but,
Yeah. Okay,
I'll
so
short
on that note, then, you guys finish your short rest. About an hour and a half goes by. Floof, make a perception check.
All right, give me just a second to take my short rest.
And on this note, what is sorry, let me do a couple rolls real quick.
You said perception?
Yes, perception.
I need to start rolling with D&D Beyond.
You do.
That's an 11.
In 11. Okay. You notice a lot of people. You notice a lot of people running around on the street. You see them coming in, coming out, going through the different various buildings, going about their day, but you don't notice your werewolf yet. I mean, just based off of time, if you stood there for a week and you kept watching, you'd eventually see him, but you haven't seen him there yet.
Okay.
You do hear the door push open behind you. And there's this elvish woman just standing there, and she goes, "Can I help you?"
Guard duty. Pay me no mind. Please and thank you.
She...
We think somebody might be trying to kill you.
She takes a couple steps out. Right!
This
Slowly walks downstairs.
Roy's wife.
Floof is gonna dash to his room and take a nap.
As quietly dashing as possible.
He'll stealth if you need him to.
Go ahead and make it stealth, because Roy's now coming upstairs.
You just hear running across the roof, just pat, 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 pat.
25!
Oh, dang.
18 plus 7.
Okay, Roy comes upstairs with a 16 in his, perception, and he's he walks over to the third room, the third room that was open, looks around, shuts the door, turns around, and walks to your room and knocks.
Jay, do you preen as well as a kenku? Preen your feathers?
Yeah, probably.
I have several words, and I have several words for this kenku. I have several more for Siegfried. And he kind of just goes downstairs. And you just hear kind of a clattering of plates as, you just hear chores and stuff being taken care of downstairs. So on that note, we are about 15 minutes from 9 o'clock. I think that's going to be where we end tonight's session, with you guys taking a short rest at the inn at Etopresnia, giving me time to set everything up for next week.
Bet.
Love it.
So on that note, you guys have survived the werewolves. I did not expect the two werewolves to fight. These are weird things about random encounters that you just don't expect, and they happen. They do the things.
I
they
healed
do.
one of them.
You healed a werewolf.
Yeah, he was hurt.
Yes.
Healed a
He's right
werewolf.
now.
You healed a werewolf and then turned around and melted another.
Yeah, he was in a bad mood.
It was the duality. He had to say, after he saved one, he had to kill one of them.
It's just like
The one
I
that
have
killed
to murder someone. I have to.
the one that killed the other one was the bad guy, right?
Of course. That's
We don't
how this
know that.
works. That's how this works. Apparently.
That's how the bird brain works.
They're werewolves. They're going off their instincts. If they're not in control of it.
So thank you everybody for joining us tonight with the Chaos Brigade. Join us again next Wednesday, hopefully next Wednesday, for a continuation of Etopresnia as we try to figure out what we're doing. I know what we're doing because I have a plan now. But
Ooh.
yeah, no guys, I have plans. Whenever I gave you guys the list of the 3 cities, it was, there is a plan for those 3. It depending on which
hell
one you guys
yeah.
pushed for.
Excite.
Yes. Chris has ideas. Chris has plans. So that being said, thank you all so much for joining us. Be sure to follow everybody here at their various TikToks with Luana at The Witch Bard on TikTok, Jay at Sir J of Harps on TikTok and Twitch, Ryan at Funkmaster Nacho, both TikTok and Twitch, and myself here with Chris Fire on TikTok, and I would plug my Twitch, but I don't use it nearly enough. So follow us here, subscribe to us here. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This will work. There it is. That's the right transition. That's the right one.
Hell yeah.